Welcome to the Facerocker Podcast number 38. This week we sit down with Ethan Newberry, friend of ours. He played a drift racer in VGHS, and he's also a producer of the Jean Claude Van-Damme movie, Welcome to the Jungle, which is out now and on demand and in select theaters. One of the reasons why actually we were able to shoot with Jean Claude Van-Damme in our latest video, which is up on our site, RocketJump.com, as well as the YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen that yet, check it out. Speaking of Jean Claude movies, I think he's probably one of our heroes. It was crazy to be able to meet the guy. The guy was, by the way, still jacked. He's getting older, but he could bench press all of us combined. He was insanely ripped still, and still got the kicks going too. If you want to check out some Jean Claude kicks, by the way, I'd recommend the new Expendables movie. He plays the villain in that in Expendables 2, which incidentally is streaming on Netflix. And if you don't have a Netflix subscription, we're doing a really cool promotion with them. Head on over to netflix.com/RocketJump. You can get a 1-month free trial of Netflix. You can watch all the Jean Claude Van Damme movies you want. Heck, Schwarzenegger, all the old school action guys, it's on there. You can get them, DVD streaming, whatever. You just fill up your whole month with nothing but 80s action movies. It'd be a good month spent, by the way. You could also fill up that month by watching Season 1, Season 2 of VGHS, which is also on Netflix. And speaking of VGHS, right now, time is running short. We have 3 days left for the INDIEGOGO campaign for Season 3, the third and final season of VGHS. So head on over to rocketjump.com/campaign to get in on some really, really cool campaign-exclusive perks. We got loot crates. We got board games that you can get before they're out in stores. You can also get now a Razer mouse pad just got added in there at the $50 standalone tier. So head on over to rocketjump.com/campaign. See all the cool things you can get and support us on the third and final season of Video Game High School. Speaking of supporting us, support the podcast too. Head on over to iTunes, download it, and subscribe to it. Our subscription numbers are actually really important in the world of podcasts. We'll do a podcast about this one of these days, about the weird business side of these things. But having subscribers helps. So no matter where you watch it, head on over to iTunes, subscribe to the podcast. You're helping us out immensely by doing that. We hope you enjoy, and enough yammering. Here's the podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another Facerocker Podcast. I am joined by my stalwart co-host, Matt Arnold.
Hello.
Desmond, Dolly.
Hey, how's it going?
And myself, Freddie Wong. Today, we sit with Ethan Newberry.
In a land, one boy, one dinosaur, and an hour of love.
This is some porno now.
I'm sorry. Is that right?
We just, porno. As we were testing out our mics and getting our sound levels, we found that your voice, you do the deep voicing, but these mics really accentuate
These mics are awesome.
Yep.
I don't have to work that hard. So if this is my regular voice, but then all of a sudden, it turns into a terrifying movie.
You should call your mother like that.
Mom, it's your son. I'm in the house.
It's calling from in the house
with Grace Helbig.
You may know Ethan as Clutch from VGHS.
You may.
As the greatest character on VGHS. You've probably seen him on numerous commercials at this point, right?
Yeah, like that commercial guy.
Well, actually, I will say you probably haven't seen me in the commercials, but I've been in almost every one of them. Like every commercial I book, you barely see my face. I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah,
I'm totally cool with it. I'm like that silent actor that, sure, I'm getting my paycheck. Totally cool with it. But yeah, you don't see my face until
you always get a sweet like, yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I did a Coke Zero commercial. Where
I remember.
It's like a big laugh.
How do they direct that, by the way?
So for those of you who don't know, which none of you,
aka all of you,
there's a Coke Zero commercial. You can actually go to the Coke Zero YouTube page, but it's an older one.
Real quick, who's so into Coke Zero? They're like, I gotta see what sick videos they got.
I'm liking this.
Clearly, their newsfeed. Subscribing.
Clearly, their podcast is sponsored by Coke Zero.
It's an older commercial. It was all during NFL early season. And the way it plays out is like it opens with a scene of 3 guys sitting on a couch watching football, totally bored and zoning out. And it's called "It's Not Your Fault" or "Not Your Fault," I think, is the ad campaign.
They debated about the "it's" or "no it's" for a long time.
It's not your 4 hours. It is not your fault.
It is, guys. Come on, sing about this.
But then it cuts to another scene where it takes place in Roman times. So we travel back. I'm sorry, we travel back in time to caveman time. So we did like all the caveman makeup, and then it transfers forward in time to the Roman era. And that day on set, it was awesome because the director's like, "Okay, well, why don't you guys come outside and we'll show you our Roman set." And it was a bunch of tiered seats that they had us sit in, and there's like a fog machine below us giving us like dust.
Authentic Roman fog.
Authentic Roman dust fog. And then they brought in like 50 extras to sit around us to act like other Romans.
Like fully like togaed out.
We were all totally togaed out. And we just kept doing take after take. He's like, okay, so I want you to look down and like do a hurrah, and then the other guy goes, and then the last guy goes, huh? You know, that kind of thing. And I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna have fun. So then when I look down, I go, oh! Yeah! Like I do that. Like I totally just start laughing at the bloodshed. And I look around and no one else is laughing. And I just go, are you not entertained? And the director's like, yes, more of that. More stealing Russell Crowe. More of that.
So that actually worked. Your insane tactic actually worked.
It totally worked. That's in the final cut.
That wasn't that long ago. That was like 8 months, 7 months.
But if you go to their YouTube page, they have tons of
I guess
videos.
that's long for the internet now. You said older.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not like 8 years old.
Internet's
No.
like dog years times 1,000.
Yeah, no, it's like it might still be airing for all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, What's Trending host,
Yes.
co-host, and also, I need to bring this up because we are in the middle of, hopefully by the time this podcast comes out, still in the middle of the Winter Olympics. It's been 4 years.
I met Freddie for the first time at the Vancouver Winter Olympics.
It's crazy to me. Our life is tied to the Winter Olympics.
We have to tell the story.
We do. So here's I'll tell my side of it, and then you tell your back side of it.
Great.
And then we'll meet in the middle in Vancouver. Okay. So David, one of our friends, he's a producer over at 505.
He's a producer.
Came to me one
man.
day over winter break, 2009, and he I don't know how he heard about this, but there was a contest that Samsung was putting on. Samsung being one of the big perennial sponsors of the Olympics. I hope I'm using that word right. They're doing a contest where they were looking for what they called mobile explorers, and what it was to go to the Olympics and do a thing and do social media, and this is like right when like Facebook and like tweets were like starting to be like,
thing.
whoa, this is gonna be
It's a big
huge,
deal.
guys.
Yeah.
It's gonna be big. We need to get social media. We gotta get a social street team on the thing. So they were gonna pick 5 teams from the United States, group to paired up and go up to the Winter Olympics and cover it for them. And we had no
we can
idea.
say go down. It's Canada.
That's true. Yeah,
We'll go down.
Go down over to but we had no idea what the heck it actually entailed. Just that it was like there was money involved at first, and then the potential prize. And we're like, okay, yeah, go for it. So he shot some bits. I shot some bits around Seattle. Vote for us type of thing. And this was on the YouTube channel I remember specifically, I had 5,000 subscribers on YouTube.com/Freddie W. 5,000 people who had seen the Guitar Hero videos and been like, this guy seems cool.
Like the original Freddie.
The original, old school OG before any of this stuff, right? So we went down there and we got picked as one of the groups and we got flown up there. And Ethan, tell your backside of it.
Okay, so everything's exactly the same. Someone emailed me, hey, check out this contest that Samsung's doing. And I was like, sounds like a great chance to just go to the Olympics.
Yeah, just to go to the Olympics.
And what
was
were you
cool.
doing at the time?
Yeah, you were
Nathan?
doing some sort of
I was doing the
media
Real
stuff.
Cool Club, so I was doing live comedy shows every week with my comedy partner at the time, Lindsay Harbert, who we're still very good friends. She was hosting with me and doing live improv and acting. I mean, at that point, I had...
You did host, and by the way, as we found when we met each other, you had done some live hosting up in Seattle, right?
Yeah, like we have the Seattle connection because we're both from...
And what was crazy is, okay, so this goes even farther back. In high school, the Seattle Times put on a short video contest that I entered in 12th grade, I think. And I made a Segway. There was a Segway rental company, and I made a Segway action sword fight scene where my friends and I rented out 2 Segways and then just effed off with them off into them and just did a fight scene joust with them. Shot on the Canon XL1, actually.
Wonderful shoulder mount camera with DV tapes.
Yeah, old school mini DV tapes. And that was one of the, I don't know, finalists or what, I don't know how they did. It was a winner or they had multiple winners or some shit of the contest. I didn't go to the premiere event, but I learned now that who was emceeing that event?
Me. So I actually
It's so
actually
crazy.
premiered your action film. I didn't know Freddie.
Not at all.
Didn't remember him after that night.
No,
because I was like, this film is not worth my memory.
Blows. Capital B blows.
But I know I actually remember that film. You actually rode a Segway downstairs.
Yes, it's so dangerous.
But they rented them. And the whole time I'm watching this going, I hope the rental company doesn't see this. Because you ripped them up.
Oh, we went crazy with them.
So at the time I was doing a bunch of acting and stuff like that, but someone sent me this link to this contest and I was like, oh my God, this sounds awesome. Free trip to Olympics. I love Vancouver. My girlfriend at the time, now my fiance, I don't want to say girlfriend at the time, but she was my girlfriend. Now she is my fiance.
Technically correct.
Technically correct.
The best kind of correct.
But we decided to, my friend Lindsay and I, my comedy partner and I, decided to put a video together, much like Freddie and David, and submit it to Samsung. And we didn't know if it involved audience vote, if it involved
who knows with this stuff,
views, you know, whatever. So we just posted it, and next thing we know, we're both going to the Olympics.
And what's funny about that was, I think there was a sense at first for all, because there's 5 groups of people, and this is also where I met Daystorm. Daystorm was another group, and that's how I learned about YouTube partners, and I drilled him about all the questions for it, and that's the beginning of the whole thing.
He had just quit his day job.
Yeah,
to
when Freddie came back, he was like,
guys,
this
is happening.
Guys, yeah, that's literally it.
Financially, it can do it. This is how we have to do it, though. Yeah, and it was funny is that at first, and also, what's crazy is that everybody in that group is slowly coming back to LA. So there was anyway, whatever. So it was funny because it didn't take too long to kind of figure out like this contest is kind of crap. Like it wasn't a very fun contest.
Was it kind of rigged or you were just like, I just remember all the updates. We were just like, this is not really well organized, and I don't know if who won. Did you guys win?
We won.
Yeah. We won. Okay, so it was rigged. No,
I will totally.
I remember like halfway through, everybody was like, you know what? Because your last 2 videos got weird. You were like, and I just remember because you were just giving us these daily updates because I think none of us wanted you to do it. We're kind of like, dude,
Freddie, what are you doing?
We didn't think you were gonna do it. And halfway through, we're like, dude, this is like the biggest waste of time. You're just doing Samsung stuff.
We were also, I remember watching your videos, Ethan, and thinking, oh, well, those guys they're pretty good.
Yeah, well, to be fair, halfway through, Freddie was also
back out.
Those are better reactions than I had when I watched our own videos. Because I would watch them and go, oh, we're such tools.
Well, no, they were good. Because I remember Freddie going through, they were like one of the people. No, because I remember
I mentioned you guys the other group. I was like, yeah, these guys are good.
Yeah, the Freddie kept saying like exactly. He was like, I met new friends up there. Or like I have friends now. It's these guys. Like these guys are cool. But I just remember like halfway through, Freddie's like, this contest is not a real contest. I'm just gonna. I think I know what's good. I think me and David are not gonna do this. So let's just start it. He was like, we don't have a chance. So let's. The last 2 were really weird.
The writing was on the wall for us just because we're like, we could feel it go a certain direction. So we're like, all right, here's our chance to just make some weird.
Well, Ethan's way more handsome than you. Number 1,
right?
Yeah.
His partner was a girl instead of David.
Female partner.
Yes.
And they were good. So the writing was on the wall.
The writing was all. So we're like, here's our chance to do some weird ass shit, which we did. Which I'm very not as weird as I had hoped, but we did manage to do.
Are these videos still on your YouTube page?
Yeah, they're still way back.
They're still on mine.
YouTube.com/FreddieW.
So I would love for people to go back and watch these videos. At the time, your audience hated us.
They hated you guys. Well, it was all gamers. It was all gamer loser nerd.
But it was also very understandable.
I love my audience. So you guys are great. But at the time, you guys hated Ethan and those guys.
But it's totally
they don't like these podcasts either.
Don't worry about it.
They're not listening to this. We're fine.
We're good.
No one's at home. No one's watching.
Are we literally having a group chortle about the fact that the people who hate us aren't listening to this?
We're just bad at our jobs.
So good.
It's
so true.
But anyways.
Oh, gosh. Ethan, what did you win? What was the prize package?
I like that you were reading his comments, though. I like that you were going to
we
Freddie's.
all were.
Everybody was.
Sure
Because Daystorm had the biggest YouTube presence out of everybody.
He was killing us.
It was destroying with them views. Yeah, killing it. Yeah.
The thing was, the way that they had it done is we had to submit our video in hard format, right? Like on their hard drive. So they posted it to their site. So you couldn't see viewership. So when you know that Daystorm has a 70,000, I think at that point it was 76,000 subscribers, you know that his audience, which are just adamant about his content, are going there and watching his video and voting and doing all this stuff. And meanwhile, we're just kind of like, we're getting creamed on the views. We know it.
Yeah,
but then you see like Freddie wins one of the videos, and then I win one of the videos.
That's right. They won per week or whatever, or like per video. There's a winner.
Here's what's sucked about the contest. So I mean, everyone involved was great.
Samsung was wonderful though.
Samsung was a host. Yeah. What sucked about the contest though was, I mean, it was like literal. What's interesting about it, actually looking back, was it was like the crucible to go. That month was like a test to see can you keep up with like a YouTube schedule, because that's what it was. It was like
you guys were like dying, and you wanted to go to Olympic events, and you went to like
that was the big problem.
That was a big problem. Yeah, it was that they had Samsung awesome tickets, and we managed to catch a couple. But like the big thing about it was like, can you do a video in 3 days and finish it and be done 100%? All right, now do it nonstop. Do 5 in a row like that. And that was actually incredibly good experience to lead right into the YouTube page.
I mean, look, Daystorm, you, Ethan.
Well, this is the part I always like to tell.
Star makers.
So Lindsay and I ended up winning the contest. We went through the same thing where you had to do videos every
crushed
single
Freddie.
week. We
Destroyed.
crushed
Oh my
Freddie.
God.
No, I don't even want to say that. I want to say like Freddie's videos made me laugh and made me entertained the crap out of me. And I watched my videos and just went, oh man, we are selling the fuck out. Like, ugh. But you know, we had a great time up there, and they took care of us. But we just had to work so hard. We didn't actually get to enjoy so much of the Olympics as much as we wanted.
Yes.
So at the end of the time, we got a prize. Our prize, I believe, was it 24,000 that we would split?
Yeah, those cash, someone in that range that you split.
So it was like 24 grand that we split. So Lindsay and I got 12 after taxes. You don't get that much. And you take a month of your life to go do this. Lindsay had to quit her job to go do this. So in the reality, it's like, I think we kind of broke even. And I feel bad for the people that didn't get anything. So they were in the negative. So I'm like, okay, well, we come back from that. And, you know, what's next?
Now? You guys are now official Samsung Mobile Explorer.
Right. So maybe they're going to like take us to other events.
You were something? Like
we
became Mobile Explorers.
Yes. So they did send us to other events that we just were obligated to do. But they were fun. Like we got to go to a NASCAR event, which is really cool, and we got to go to this other thing. We got to meet Matthew McConaughey and Dean Carnassus.
Were you paying for these events?
All right.
No, it was part of the. Congratulations, you won.
Congratulations, you won the work.
So after this whole period, let's jump ahead 6 months.
This is great.
I'm kind of reevaluating what I'm doing in my life. Like 6 months later, and going, you know, that contest, that was really cool. I'm really happy that we won that. What's Daystorm doing? Oh, he's at like 500,000 subscribers. What's Freddie doing? Oh, he's at like 1 million subscribers. They already have like lives. And Lindsay and I are just eating top ramen or something, you know. It's
as Mobile Explorers.
As Mobile
Explorers.
But we're Mobile Explorers.
How long did that last? How long were you Mobile Explorers?
I think our contract or whatever was like 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
But I still see. Do you remember David? Like the higher up, the guy was super sweet.
Yeah, he was like he was a hardcore dude. Yeah.
I see him at CES. He comes up and like anytime he knows where I'm at, if he's in the same town, he'll come up and introduce himself. And it's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, oh my God. He's like, what's it like being famous? I'm like,
David was a very interesting man. David was a very interesting man. He spoke in a very specific way, and also he took out everybody for like dinner, and like it was so clear what the pecking order in that room was, because it was like he was like, I would like to take everybody out for Korean barbecue, and then was like, okay, and like everyone running the contest was like, don't screw this up, don't screw this up. He's a boss, he's a boss, he's a boss, and I was like, whoa, it got really serious in here. Like everybody was like looking out for their job, like at that moment, like because he was so clearly like such a high up at the company, like don't screw this up, don't screw this up,
don't mess it up, don't spin it. But he's the nicest guy.
He is. Oh yeah.
And he loves what we do. He loves YouTube. He loves that space.
Yeah.
And so every time I see him, it's really funny. He's like a kid.
Yeah, that's how we met. That's like the beginnings of it, and how strange that life has led us on this circumnavigating path back now into this room where we're talking about the Olympics again. Yeah. Which, by the way, have you guys seen these pictures from Sochi?
Oh yeah, the Sochi Problems is amazing.
It's so incredible.
Sochi Problems?
Tumblr.com.
Tumblr?
Yeah. Oh, so
Twitter.
Incredible.
It's pretty amazing.
The thing right now, by the way, is it's nothing but slow-mo animated GIFs of people eating it on like the slope style courses. Ooh. I don't remember that many people eating it that hard in Vancouver.
No.
Yeah. There's a good tweet. There's like a head of the Olympics that's something like the half pipes have gotten safer. It's the tricks that are making it more dangerous or something.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit like blaming the victim. Like, I don't know. It's like, have the tricks really gotten that much more absurd than before?
Yes, they have.
They have.
They really have. To be fair, yes, they have. But it's one of those weird things where...
It's one of those weird psychological things where because the slopes are safer, it makes the people feel like they can push themselves harder.
People are just generally pushing themselves harder.
You know, like it's safer to actually not wear a bike, arguably, because like you end up being a safer rider. Have you heard those things?
The bike helmet stuff, and
bike helmet and having no curbs on streets like cause less pedestrian deaths because everybody drives slower. And
I don't think
pedestrians.
Maybe, but it's definitely a guy does 2 flips. So next year, you want to top that, you got to do 3.
Go 3, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's the sport itself. But then they add all these
competition.
Then they add all these like. Isn't there like a stupid new snowboard one that everyone's like, this is really lame?
I literally have not watched a single thing.
I haven't watched the Winter Olympics.
And I will say, by the way, it's really weird to go from being in Vancouver, being in a host city. Everything is about the Olympics. Like everywhere you turn, it's on every TV. It's what anyone's talking about. To now this, which is probably the experience that most people have, which is, oh, that's going on. And kind of checking out here and there. It was crazy to be in, and that was probably one of the best experiences of the whole thing. Was like the Canada U.S. hockey team was crazy because you walked out in the middle of the street of Vancouver and it was, you've never been in the middle of a city and it had to be so quiet, like you literally could not hear cars. Yeah, and it was just everyone like, this is weird. You've never heard the sound of a city empty and quiet because everyone's at home watching this hockey game. You know, that was a really interesting experience.
Yeah, because everyone in that city is either rooting for their team, which is playing at that moment, or they're visiting from out of town, and they're also watching that because they know it's
exactly.
a big moment for that country.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't have that ever. Like
there's nothing like the World Cup.
Like the World, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The rest of the world has soccer, which that stuff happens all the time. I mean, there was the World Cup in '96. I don't know if you guys were here during '96.
What, in the country?
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't born
it was
yet.
in yeah, it was in the U.S. But yeah, again, it's even there. It's not as big as it is anywhere else. So it's like it was kind of cool. Like it was exciting.
Kobe
The World Cup
Jones.
was here. Yeah, exactly. There was like
That
soccer's
ginger.
hot for like 4 weeks
Yeah.
here. There's a soccer convention.
Alexi Lalas.
Yep.
It might get hot again
Remember.
if football goes.
What do you mean if football goes?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, because it's like, who decides football? It's moms. Moms decide where football goes, and they don't
What are
decide
you talking about?
as a sport.
Moms decide where football
This
goes.
was the
Moms-
weirdest
Hold on.
transition.
Wait,
I'm trying
hold
to-
on.
It's all
about the moms.
All right, let's go. No, I'm curious. This is what you're saying.
The future of football is decided by the moms, because the players from football are kids who go start in Pop Warner leagues, and they go into middle school, high
Yeah.
school, all the way through. So their decisions to let their kids play football due to safety concerns happens now, which means that those players that would have been pro players in the future don't go up and be pro players for another 20 years.
Is there less Pop Warner happening now?
People are starting to say that that's like, well, a lot of parents are starting to get concerned. We're like, now it's like, okay, hey, by the way, guaranteed concussive injuries, guaranteed brain damage from this sport. Like, moms are being like, maybe football's not the right sport for my kid. Maybe
Well, it's
I
funny
should
because
do another
soccer's
sport.
really popular as kids, like
Yeah.
still in America. It's
That's true.
probably maybe the most popular sport, actually. I think it's bigger than
That's
almost
true,
any
but that's the same thing with
organization.
any pro sport, which is you need to start
But
young.
then nobody plays after,
Right.
like,
yeah.
anyway, so.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things too, where it's like if you start young, you have to start young to get at the moment to get into like hockey, football, like all those games, all the sports. You're starting when you're a little kid.
Where's that documentary, Head Games? Wait, have you gotten a concussion in wrestling
Oh yeah, absolutely.
multiple times?
Two
How does it
that-
happen?
Two
Getting
that I know of.
thrown?
There was one, a guy went in for a double leg and scooped me up. Basically lifted me over his head.
the double leg he was looking
and
for.
illegally slammed me back down. It looked like something out of an anime. He wasn't supposed to do that. He was
Yeah,
very
it's illegal,
upset
right?
with
He was
me.
very athletic.
Knocked me right out. He was incredibly athletic, way more so than I was at that time. Knocked me out. I remember standing up and looking at my coach and not knowing where I was, and him just saying, "You're fine. You have to go back and wrestle this guy." I was like, "Oh no,
You
what's
have a
happening
brother
to me?"
named Benji.
Yeah.
He looks like you.
How about you, Ethan? Ever a concussion?
No.
Did you play much sports as a kid?
I did soccer, and
Soccer
growing
was
up-
such a Seattle
It was
thing.
such a Seattle thing.
'Cause we had
Going
the-
and
we had
having
the
oranges at
Sounders.
halftime.
I got a
That was-
concussion in soccer. I got kicked in the head as a
Oh,
goalie.
kicked in the head?
Wow.
Yeah, I kicked in the head as a goalie. Yeah,
Whoa.
I was athletic as a kid.
That's why you
before I
brought up
found video
concussions.
games.
You were waiting to get to that.
Well, no, because it's
Yeah,
an
man.
interesting topic. No, it's interesting.
I got kicked. Nobody asked me. I got kicked.
So I was talking about the time I got kicked in the head as a goalie while making a great save. No, it's because the head games thing was interesting. I was just thinking, if concussions cause a problem, like, let me put it this way: you've got multiple concussions. Unfortunately, that essentially means you have irreprehensible, like you have brain damage that can't be fixed. It's happened.
Irreparable.
It's irreparable.
Yeah.
It's already happened. Sorry, Des. Same thing with
What?
me. Yeah. So the question is sports worthwhile for kids at all? Like, that's essentially the argument of head games. Is like a single concussion from football causes significant problems. They're talking about huge increase of risk in
But that's
bipolar
that's
disease.
risk reward, isn't it? Because it's like what you get. It's not like you're getting team skills from football. You're getting stuff.
It's
where
one
it's
way
like,
to get team skills. Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm saying you're right. You can get safer other sort of team skills in other ways, I guess. So what are these safe, approved team skill building activities that are not having any concussive risk? What are those?
Trust falls.
Accounting clubs.
No. Trust falls. Accounting.
Trust
Is that a thing in high
chess
school?
club.
Yeah,
Who's in
why
chess
not?
club? I don't know. I was in chess club. Who's in chess club?
No.
Just me.
Debate.
I was in fencing club.
Fuck off, really?
Yeah, we
Forensics
talked
league.
about this before.
You were in
Forensics?
fencing?
Forensics league. Yeah. That's
Really?
a team
That
sport.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, do you solve crimes?
No, forensics. Forensics league.
much
is debate.
lamer.
It's debate.
Debate. Speech
It's
and debate.
Speech and
Debate
debate
club.
But we used to call it forensic league.
Did you
I
have,
did that once.
Did
It
you
was
have
great.
rad shirts made up? It's like, we're part of the forensics league, man. Step
One
aside.
man. Yeah, it was one of those. One shirt.
Academic decathlon.
That's a California thing. That's exclusively like a.
Really?
I don't know. I don't remember any schools that had Acadeca as a.
There's no way it's just a California thing.
It's not. It's nationally, but
I've
it's
seen it in
definitely
too many
but
sitcoms
it's
for it to be only
definitely-
one.
But it's definitely a state by state thing because there was like no. I don't remember any of that.
Is that like smart kids from one school versus smart kids from another?
in the state? And there was like a whole range of things
They
like
have a
languages and math and
Yeah, Washington State's more like, you're all equal.
You're all
You're all equally
Everyone's
smart.
smart.
Washington State had brutal piano like high school age stuff. It was chess was pretty crazy good in Washington State, and piano, because Washington State's divided into two halves. You got Eastern Washington, Western Washington. Western Washington is where all the frou-frou, like, you know, hippie liberals are, and who have other things to do. Eastern Washington's where all the like farm kids who get up at 3:30 a.m. to milk the cows and then practice 6 hours of piano.
Yeah.
So I remember the state competitions for piano. He's like,
Wait, what are they conservative?
Yes, generally.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just like very. These are all the Bleeding Heart Liberals. These are guys who work on a farm and play piano. Like, what
Yeah,
those feel like
What
the same
classification
person.
is that?
Yeah. What is that?
It's very
What
confused.
is this? What is this?
Conservative. Okay.
I remember going to the competitions and being like, all right, because you'd recognize kids like, yo, this kid's the one. Yeah, Western Washington.
Straight up
100%.
Rock
Watch out for this kid,
Yo,
son.
yo, this kid's Western Washington kid. Where was Rachmaninoff's killer, son?
Man,
And
he's
he goes up,
representing, yo.
and he goes up and he'll be like, play back. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, we got. And then like one Eastern Washington go up and just destroy. And he's like, oh man, that's what
I
happens.
vote Republican.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get good.
Mic drop.
Mic drop, yo. Oh man.
Wait, what's on the east border of Washington? I should know my geography. Okay, it's Idaho, not Montana.
No,
No,
you don't.
Montana's
After-
right there. The
after
Idaho
that's
panhandle.
Little handle.
Yeah, the little Coeur d'Alene, the little snippet.
Coeur d'Alene is dope, son.
If you like, if you're white,
If you're white and into boat sports, that place is the
Coeur
shit.
d'Alene has like the highest per capita. Like I don't know what this is gonna sound.
White
This is
people
gonna
on
sound no, that would be Minnesota.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I don't know where this. I don't know where this statistic came from. And Benji, our resident Googler, might help me out here. But I believe Coeur d'Alene has like something like the highest percentage of white supremacists like anywhere.
Is that Benji's job? Is
Before I type this in, we're going to do a spell check on that word.
Coeur d'Alene. A quarter.
No. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's back for a second.
Qua.
Matt, when we say Coeur d'Alene,
I'm hearing. Oh, well, I've never heard of the term before. I was hearing quarter lane, but clearly-
Quarter Lane.
So what is it?
Never heard of it.
It's like COEURE
dash
apostrophe
or space
D
apostrophe
Yeah.
LEAN.
So,
You
I
got
bet
French.
QUA.
Quadalon.
What's that mean?
Half
It's
of
a
these
French
things
thing.
Aren't even on the keyboard.
I think it's like street of the lake or street of the lane or
Okay.
something.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. I
exactly.
didn't realize there was a lot of lakes there and stuff.
A lot of racists is what.
A lot of racists.
There's a documentary coming out about this like town with a
No,
population of
but
like 16 that like a single white supremacist has come in and slowly took over.
The whole town.
It's like literally like a Nazi town now. And
Is
there's
it
guys.
Guadalene?
Actually I don't know where it is, but this documentary is still going on because this is still
Whoa.
happening. And it's
Wow.
still just expanding. And there's like 200 people. There's like a church, and everybody's like, "How can this happen still? Like, can't somebody come in and like shut?" There's like a black guy who literally is one of the 16 people. Who's like, like it's like the trailer is so intense right now. Like you're like, holy shit, yeah. I think there's a Kickstarter for it. Like it's happening right now. They've been filming for about a year and a half. And it's this crazy leader. Anyway,
Benji may have something.
What you
here
got,
for us.
Benji?
Oh, you're right. Apparently there was 20,
Into the mic, Benji.
apparently 20 years ago. I don't have a mic.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, there was a siege at Ruby Ridge.
The
where an
siege at Ruby Ridge?
Some dude in his Aryan Nation gang took over a compound, and they set up the Aryan Nation compound there. And so yeah, that's like headquarters.
HQ.
HQ.
White
Guadalene.
White
supremacist
HQ.
And they
right
did
there.
it with a takeover. HQ was started with an actual.
The hostile military
if
takeover.
any of you are listening, please don't take over
RocketJump
compounds.
headquarters.
Compounds in the name of white
Just
people.
in general, real quick, does the phrase compound ever result in any
Anything
sort of
good?
positive imagery at all?
Has anything good ever happened in a compound? It's always like if something's bad gonna happen, you call it a compound.
I was like, compound fraction? No.
No.
Those, I don't like those. in
Compound
school.
words?
compound
No.
fracture. Yeah.
Compound. No, but like, how many? It's just there's so many situations where it's like, first of all, how do you get one started? I'm interested in
How do
starting.
you start a compound?
Yeah, how do you start a compound?
You build it.
You buy one.
Bags of concrete and you mix in the water and you just get after
But
it.
you clearly
And then
need
you
like
name it. I mean, we could just call this place a compound.
Yeah.
And then bad things would start happening.
No, don't
People
do
start
that. Yeah,
taking it
man,
over.
take it back.
just start hostily taking over. Cops just showing up and sieging it constantly.
Ethan, have you ever wanted a compound?
Have I ever wanted a compound?
Any compound aspirations?
I've oft referred to where I live as a compound. Just, where I live.
Do bad things happen?
Are
to
you concerned about a possible takeover?
by white supremacists?
Where
I
do you
gotta be
live?
honest
Down
with
to
you
the
guys.
address and times your home.
I live in Guadalajara, and I am a white supremacist, and I have a bunch of minions.
That's gonna be the thumbnail of this episode. It's just a picture of you doing this, and then I'm a white supremacist.
Please, no. Please. Guadalajara.
Speaking of compounds and ideas for compounds, sorry, I don't mean to belabor the topic, but and this has nothing to do with it, but it reminded me of it. I've always had an idea for a timeshare that you could do for like 6 spyware like safe houses around the world. I don't know how you would figure this out, but imagine a scenario where you'd be like, yo, I have a network of like 83 safe houses in all the world capital, in various world capitals and stuff. And so you just be go to the city. Do? No, it's just like it's like you have to like move a plant and like put a keypad in, and it'll recognize you, and then you can just, it's like free vacation stay, you know, type of things. You book it out in advance, obviously, but it's just like sweet hidden spots so that you can feel like a spy in any city.
Is it like Airbnb,
but like with spy shit,
but for like rescue houses or safe houses?
Like, yeah, for like yeah, like
you can only go there during certain times.
Yeah, well, when someone else isn't, well, some other super secret spy isn't using it.
When I was in 8th grade, I had a history/social studies/ geography teacher that taught us the 6 major world locations that if you bombed, you could take over the world.
Whoa, really?
He actually taught us this.
Wait, do you remember
this? He's in prison now.
I remember like 2 or 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Suez Canal, because if you bomb the Suez Canal, you ruin all trade around South America because boats can't go through the middle.
You mean that's you mean
this guy's just watch.
No.
Wait, which Suez Canal or the Panama Canal?
You're right. No, Suez Canal is right on the Nile, so you have to go around the Horn of Africa. The Suez Canal. Wait,
Suez
Panama.
Canal. Yeah, Panama is South
Canal
America.
Is the other one, so you have to go around South America. And I'm trying to remember the other ones. There's like one. There's a
weird ones. Like just like
this guy's just watching
the water treatment facility in Colorado.
They're like these
at the edge. Yeah,
they're these structures that essentially would ruin world trade.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
It would ruin the infrastructure of world organization. Like you would think, oh, this.
Well, this podcast is now being listened to by the NSA. So,
newsflash, they're already. No, they're not.
Yeah, they hate us. Remember?
They hate us. Nobody's listening.
That's a. By the way, so real quick. Have you ever guys like just idly thought in your spare time, and again, this is not endorsing such activity, but just thought about terrorist plots that would be really effective?
No.
No, we never thought about
Des Dolly have never done such things.
Absolutely, and mostly in communication with Des Dolly sitting to the left of me.
Matt sends me messed up
There's one time
terror texts because I have a phobia about people tracking my conversations, so Matt frequently sends me terror texts. Knowing that now people are tracking my conversations.
There's one time when all that NSA stuff came out, and Des was telling me about it.
I was panicking about the NSA stuff, so Matt's like, yeah, we should totally blow that up. Yeah, we should totally kill all those guys.
I like across the table just started texting. He just takes that where I was like, we should kill the president. He was like, dude, what the hell? That's not funny at all. He was
all I could, as if this were going to diffuse the situation, I simply texted back, I don't know who you are. Matt's gonna absolve us of any wrongdoing.
Like, well, this guy Matt and Des are gonna kill the president, and it's like, wait, no, this Des guy doesn't know who he is. Never mind.
I don't know who you are. You've hijacked my number, apparently.
Even though it pops up as Matt Arnold.
Matt Arnold. That was great.
That'll throw the bloodhounds off the set.
Sorry, you keep talking. I'm gonna try to see if I can find because your responses were really good. They were like, I was like, why are you trying?
I was trying to be very calculated in my responses, as not to seem a party to that situation.
I, Des Dolly, do not know who is texting.
Yeah, I had my lawyer draft up my text responses.
Well, Freddie, clearly you have because you asked the question.
Well, because here's why. Because what it really comes down to, without getting into the details of my apparently
your plans,
my plans. No, what really comes down to is
prison now,
what really comes down to is like it's surprising how destructive you could be to the world with so little effort. You know what I mean? Like with so little, like it's like if you imagine
a lot of society is based off of trust, because you're right. At any moment, you could probably just drive a car somewhere and run over a ton of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. So exactly. So there's the social construct.
Weirdest reaction ever. Yeah.
Matt got quiet. Yeah. Anyway, so anyway, I mean, I guess the point is, look, if you just cut 100 brake lines in various cities around the country, I think there would be some chaos. That's all. That's all.
100 brake lines.
You realize if somebody cuts 100 brake lines after this thing airs, it's gonna be like, wow, our ratings will go up.
Freddie's got some pull.
The ratings will go up. Hey, no press is bad press. Is that the?
But not with the right crowd.
In other words, or in other things.
Did you find a Matt?
Matt's still searching. All right. There's no easy way to search for text.
You're gonna look for it. We're gonna take a quick break here. We will be right back with Ethan Newberry.
Hey guys, how's it going? Jimmy Wong, aka Ted from VGHS here, telling you to check out shop.rocketjump.com. We've got brand new merchandise like iPhone cases and iPad decals to shirts, Blu-rays, and posters, including brand new Season 2 designs from our friends at Danger Brain. There's also the incredibly popular VGHS hoodie, and some of our older shirts are on sale for a great price. So make sure you check it out right after this podcast at shop.rocketjump.com. Thanks so much, guys.
Matt is unable to find his texts. They've been deleted by the NSA.
I've had everything wiped. And zeroed out all hard drives.
The whole story was a lie, is what it was.
So anyway,
happened.
Ethan, you are doing like producing now, right? You've kind of you've expanded beyond just sort of hosting and acting and that sort of thing. Tell us about this.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first opportunity that has come my way of this sort. So there's a new feature film coming out. I believe it's in, I don't know when this podcast is going to drop. But it's currently in theaters, in select theaters. It's called Welcome to the Jungle. It stars Mr. Jean Claude Van-Damme.
Hero. Action legend.
Hero.
And also the president from 24.
Oh, yeah, of course. Dennis Haysbert.
No, back up.
I was like, when is Jean Claude in 24? Is he in the new season? What are you spoiling?
That would be incredible if Jean Claude Van Damme was the president in 24. That would make that show so much better. It's already the pinnacle of television, but you know,
it's coming back.
I can't believe that.
I can, and I am excited. So Dennis Haysbert, President Palmer.
Thank you.
Adam Brody.
Rob
Hubel. Yeah, Kristen Shaw. Really, really funny cast.
Yeah, it's a great cast.
So my good buddy Rob, who directed the very first commercial that I booked in LA, came to me at a couple years ago and was like, listen, we've got this really funny film and I'm on to direct it, but we're needing some funding. And what would you think about coming in as a funder, as like a producer, and help make this feature happen? I was like, oh my God, yes, anything I could do to help you make this project happen, I'm all in. So it's a risk because I'm giving money to a project that I've read the script and I think it's funny. I trust the director, but I don't know who the cast is yet, right?
Sure.
So at this point, it's
a project
really,
you believe in.
It's a project I believe in, and I believe in the director to make whatever happens gold. So, of course, I'm like, yeah, dude, whatever you need. You gave me my first break. If this is the movie, this is going to be your first major feature film, hell yeah, I'm all in. So I gave him the yes, and next thing I know, he's like, yep, we're fully funded. We're moving on. We're going to Puerto Rico. We're going to shoot it there. I'm like, holy crap, this is actually happening, like an actual feature film. I actually get to help make a feature film. This is crazy. And he's like, oh, and by the way, we've got some cast. I was like, oh, who'd you get signed on? He's like, Jean Claude Van Damme. I was like, fuck yeah! Fuck yes! I was like, my first fucking feature film is fucking Jean Claude. I don't know if you guys beat.
Nope.
Great. Basically, I freak out. I freak out for a good hour. Calling everyone I know, like, oh my God, I fucking produced a movie with fucking Jean Claude. Fuck. Grace Helbig. And so, I just dropped her name as a swear word. So I was really excited. I was super excited. And we saw the final version I saw for the very first time last week.
Oh, wow.
And it was really funny. Cool. I mean, you just don't know when you read the original script how much it's going to change.
Yeah, there's a lot of difference between what's on the
and there was
often a lot of difference.
And there was a lot of difference. Like the whole opening, I would say 10 or 15 minutes takes place in almost a different frame of mind, a different environment than the original script that I read did. And as I'm watching the movie, I'm going, oh, this is totally different. But it works. It like works way better now seeing it than it did in my head when I read it.
Right. So you have such a talented cast. It probably a lot of improvising with those actors and comedians.
And Rob, the director, he loves that. So he'll get the take, stick to the script and give the performance that he wants to see. But he's also really good about, let's do another one where you do your own thing. And he trusts these comedians. Like Rob Hubel is just a genius. Super funny guy. And Kristen Shaw, she kills it in this movie. She kills it. So I hope what's
the plot synopsis? What's the basic outline?
So in Hollywood, we often talk about it's the Office Space meets Lord of the Flies, right? Okay. So we kind of compare the two movies. In this case, it deals with a group of coworkers that are working in an ad firm. Adam Brody plays the lesser kind of nerdy version, trying to outwit Rob Hubel. But Rob Hubel steals ideas from him and is kind of the cock of the office. In comes Jean Claude Van Damme to take the entire office on a team vacation to help like unite the team and bring them all together. what ends up happening is they fly to a deserted island, the pilot dies, and they're stuck, and hilarity ensues. And it turns into literally like Lord of the Flies. It's awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it like producing?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have to do much.
Like a producer?
Yeah, like a producer, as they do. Don't really have to do much. I mean, I got to read early stuff, and I got to kind of like contribute a little bit on that end. But once he flew to Puerto Rico to do that, I mean, I couldn't be in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to trust that everything's going to happen accordingly. And when he came back, my first question was,
So
how did it go? And he's like, great.
We did a
got
lot
everything.
of coke.
We did a ton of coke.
Thank you
Spent
so
all
much.
your money
Thank you so
on
much.
Puerto Rican hookers. And Jean Claude just never showed. But so this was actually Jean Claude's first comedy
Absolutely.
movie.
It's a milestone.
Yeah, it's a milestone for him because he's done, I don't know, 850
Not to
films.
say that any of his movies aren't funny.
no.
But this is his first straightforward
Not to say
comedy.
that his line and body of work, yes, doesn't have incredible elements of
JCVD.
humor with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really cool to hear that he really wanted to do a comedy. And when he read the script, he was like, I really want to do this movie. I really want to do this one. And he was all about like, can I bring my own comedy to this? Can I do my own thing? And Rob was like, well, let's just stick with the script and see how you go, and we'll see how you play it. And so he'd be like, well, what if I did the character like this, like big? And Rob was like, no, just keep it Jean Claude.
Yeah.
Be Jean Claude, stick with the script, and it will be funny. And there are scenes in there where you see him like thinking, do I want to be funny or do I want to just deliver the line? And he's delivering the line straight, and it's so fucking funny because it's Jean Claude delivering. I don't want to give any of this stuff away, but it's Jean Claude delivering these just pretty straight lines. But the scenarios that he's in are they're hysterical. So if you guys get a chance to see it, if it's still in theaters, by the time this rolls out,
When does it come out?
We'll put this up next week.
and I know we'll also be on demand. So if it's still on demand, go check it out.
Which
iTunes
never
and all
off
those services.
demand. Once
No,
on demand.
that's
I don't think it's ever off.
That's
Yeah,
true.
so
Once you
yeah.
get on, you never go
Well, if you got
off.
Jean Claude in your movie, goddammit,
it's-
it's always on demand.
Yeah.
It's on demand.
And he has some good flex scenes in there too.
Yeah.
he flexes
little bit
it
of
out.
flexing?
Yeah,
I believe he's still in shape.
He is.
We saw him the other day. we were talking about this
It's
earlier.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, that is what a mountain of a man looks like.
Well,
Just
did he-
walking around in a tank top flexing.
Did you get to like wine and dine him or talk to him or hang out with him? Was that like a
I
producer
didn't.
perk?
No, I mean, I wish. Literally, I really do wish at this point. Like, fuck, this is the most boring story ever. I wish I got to meet him. I didn't.
You didn't get, we had more contact with Jean Claude on this project than you had.
You never met
This
him?
is true. I never met him because he was going to
I'm
come to the
sad.
premiere last week because he just happened to be in town. Didn't show, and I didn't meet him in the early stages of production at all. I was super bummed.
I'm pretty
But when we were
bummed.
working on the project that you guys are doing, it was like, oh my god, maybe I'll get to meet him and actually get to work with him
Yeah.
and do this kind of thing. Didn't get to do it, but I've met Rob a number of times, and I met the
It's
rest of the
not the
cast.
same, to
It's
be
not the
honest.
same.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
It's not the
Jean-Claude. I wish it was more entertaining. I wish there was more.
No, that's really interesting.
We're gonna cut that part out and
One
just, can you just
man.
say you met him?
One man.
You know, when I met him, it was crazy. I shook his hand, and he flipped me, and I got a concussion.
Great.
Matt, did you get a concussion then too?
I was trying to save a goal in soccer one time. I got kicked in the head.
Of
It was
course,
pretty impressive.
Matt,
I
yes,
did save it.
The
though.
NSA knows.
Yeah, we won the game.
They know.
Ethan, it's a limited release, correct? It's playing in a few major cities.
Select theaters, yes. So Los Angeles, New York, I believe a couple other cities in between. For a couple of weeks in theaters. If you get a chance to see it in theaters, I would do that. If not to support the crew and the people who put a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears into this, but also the cast. I mean, the cast deserves it because they're all really funny. Some of them are lesser known actors playing in big parts in this movie, and they're killing it. So I would love to see them get more work. So anything you can do to support the movie would be awesome. Even tweeting it.
You think you can keep producing?
In this case, it worked for me because I knew the director, I trusted the project, and even though it was a gamble, I still was like, I have money sitting in my bank. I'm not doing anything with it. I might as well give it to someone who can create something really cool. And if it's a feature film, that's awesome.
with Jean Claude Van Damme.
With Jean Claude Van Damme. So I never know. If the project comes onto my table that happens to look really promising and something that I would totally want to invest in and get behind the people that are creatively involved, hell yeah.
Like another Jean Claude movie.
Like another Jean Claude movie, yeah. Or another movie or series like VGHS season 3 with more Clutch. Let's just say that.
The Clutch Tales.
Clutch Tales.
If there happens to be a spin-off.
A spin-off web series of a web series.
Listen, Variety loves you guys. Hollywood loves you guys. I think it's time the Hollywood and Variety love Clutch.
Right?
And I've got a checkbook.
You have every right to take out a full-page ad.
I'll be that guy.
See what kind of business we drum up.
Oh my God.
I would do a whole series about Clutch. Clutch
He's
would be
such
pretty good.
he's such an enigma.
Even like a 3-episode arc that's like a sub-series where you watch this one episode and go, if you'd like to see more about Clutch, follow these little 3 episodes.
It's
little
just
micro
you
episodes.
watching your movie.
It's exclusive Clutch.
There's no more pop!
That's how, like, not to go to VGHS, but I would say the one thing is I feel like Ethan gets the show. Not that all the actors don't get the show, but I feel like Ethan really gets the show better than anybody except for maybe Brian Ferenczi in that you are the oldest looking guy on set. You're the youngest acting actor. Like, you are acting like a 7-year-old. Like, absolutely. I can't edit those scenes without laughing at every single take. Like, it's always just the most absurd delivery of those lines. It's always incredible.
I can't wait to see what you guys have.
Yeah, we definitely wrote you. Like, I'm the guy who's like, whenever we're writing lines, I'm always, and it's kind of feels shitty for some of the actors, but I'll always be like, oh no, give that line to this person will deliver it better or whatever. And it's like, I swear, it's like to the problem where I'm always like, every single drifting scene, I'm like, that's Clutch. And Will's like, dude, every line in the scene is Clutch. It can't be Clutch talking to himself the whole time.
Why not? I'm with Ethan.
That is what I was like.
Clutch monologue.
What do you mean there's no more pop? I don't know. There's no more pop. But I love pop. Me too. The sugar high that it gives you, right?
I would put that scene in. It's incredible.
And just don't explain it. Just don't explain it. And the comments will be like, what the fuck's with the schizo guy?
My favorite moment of season 1 is the end of the scene when...
I think only you and I think it's funny.
No, it is still the funniest scene ever, though, where it's in the end of a scene. We found this take randomly.
Well, we didn't call cut fast enough, so everybody was quiet, and he just started going, drift, drift.
Oh, yeah.
And he just started screaming drift, and to be fair, I think we only think it's funny because we found it, like, it's one of those 4 a.m. decisions, because we found that take at 4 a.m., and like me and Freddie could not stop laughing, and we stuck that, the end of that scene is now drift, 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 and we showed it to people, we're like, I don't really get what you're doing here. They were like, he's screaming drift, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's an awkward pause, and he's filling it by screaming drift at everybody. Like, that's sheer humor, guys. Like, how do you not see that this is the funniest thing of all time?
Yeah.
And you were killing Jimmy on set during the
When you had from behind camera, when Freddie had to go, Jimmy, keep it together. Like stern brother
late.
talk. That wasn't a director. That was a brother telling his brother.
We were running super late.
What's you killing? Yeah, because we've talked about it before. Purgatory, where we changed the set like 2 hours after setting it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And it was your line was
it goes down the line. So it goes down all the drifters. Where it goes from one person says something.
I heard that so and so. I heard so and so peed his pants.
And then you say,
yeah, but I heard so and so peed his pants. I heard so and so did this. I heard so and so did this, and it cuts to me. I heard he died. And I look right at Jimmy when I deliver it.
You're the only one looking at Jimmy, too. Jimmy could not.
And you're like an inch away from him. You're like breathing into his ear. And you're
literally like this. I heard he died.
I think the line is, because the line is actually, I heard some kid died. And the first time you said it, it just came out so much faster. Like, I heard he died. And like, everybody laughed because nobody was expecting that delivery. And then Jimmy couldn't, even the take we used, he cracked up.
Oh, yeah.
We just cut it
right before.
Like, I don't think he had a good take.
For me, that I was more enjoying the relationship that you and him had on set, because it was like you just hear Freddie go, Jimmy, keep it together. Come on.
Well, I had to leave.
That voice is like this.
I had to leave. Like, I was like, I was watching it, and I was like, I'm cracking up every time. I have to like walk behind the catering and just like bury my head. And I would hear it in the other room. It's like,
It's amazing when his voice switches from director voice to brother's voice. It's like when you have a voice on the phone, like your girlfriend calls, you suddenly go in a different voice. You can absolutely tell when you're talking to Jimmy like a brother. Oh yeah, it's
interesting.
Night and day.
You're a different
there's
person.
No more pop. I know there's no more pop, but my girlfriend's on the phone. What's up, baby?
Matt, do you have girlfriend voice?
No, absolutely. I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's pretend I'm your girlfriend calling you on your phone.
Hey, Matt, you gonna take that?
Dink.
Ding.
That's it. That's the end of that bit. That's the end of that bit. Dink.
Did he just hang up on me? After he said dink? I can't imagine being your girlfriend.
Hello, Dink. That's one of those things where I just said what I heard because I hit it against my headphone and it went dink, so I just said the sound I heard in my headphone. So anyways, this is my girlfriend voice.
She's gonna keep calling.
Matt, pick that
Straight to voicemail. Straight to
okay.
voicemail.
Matt, pick it up.
Again,
If he sends it to voicemail, he's gonna go bloop.
Bleep, bloop, bloop.
Yeah. Anyways,
I don't know how you survive.
I mean, I ask myself that every day. I really don't know. Yeah, we talk. I mean, we've talked about. I feel like you and me are missing a gene of.
Yes.
Like I always talk about. I'm so lucky I was born now. Like any time before now, I would be dead at this point.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, no eyesight, just like no self control, no ability to like keep track of like my finances or like where my car is. Like I'm just a mess 24/7.
Your dome light.
My
which
dome
is
light.
constantly on.
My head is in the clouds all the time.
How many times
I
have
would
you
be
to
dead.
jumpstart your car because your freaking dome
Never.
light?
Honda.
Because I'm always knocking on his door at 2 in the morning. Matt, your dome light's on.
I couldn't find the terrorist text. I just kept finding texts about my dome light on from Dez, Jamie, Benji. Yeah, they're like he's got to learn his.
We gave up. Yeah, Matt's got to learn his own
Yeah.
lessons.
How was the Dice Awards?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm really bummed out that they well, it was fun. First of all, it was an interesting room of people because it was interesting because a lot of developers.
Oh.
And there's a lot of guys who were like not quite sure if they should laugh at each other and themselves. There's still this thing going on in the game.
They don't
scene,
have the
I think.
Hollywood fakeness yet, where they know how to just.
It's not
laugh
that,
go with it.
but also they don't have. I don't think this whole industry. I don't think has the self confidence to be okay with having some fun at its own expense.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. I think in general. I think that's how you show confidence. Is if you're able to be self-deprecating, that's someone who's confident. Someone who's really insecure about how they're coming off and the award show. This is the Oscars of. And we gotta make sure that's someone who's not self-confident, So I think the industry as a whole has that to catch up to.
Did you watch, Ethan?
I did not. I was not even
No,
near a computer.
They
Don't worry,
forced us.
none of us watched.
None of us watched.
No, that's not fair. To be fair, Freddie, everyone who was here in the office, we put it on to show,
good. So
show
they
support.
they forced me to. So I basically got a script and I was like, Will, Ryan, help me come up with something that's good, that's funny here, because the original script was kind of like whatever. So we put it, anyway. So we put this thing together. First thing I got when I landed was like, you have to cut the Rockstar joke. I'm like, oh really? Because it's good. Like, yeah, we're indicting them into the Hall of Fame. You can't.
Indicting them.
We can't. Inducting them.
No,
into the Hall
I
of Fame.
like indicting. It actually sounds
You
appropriate.
You can't have this Rockstar joke. So I'll give you the jokes that were cut from release. Here we go. The first one was the Nintendo joke got toned down from being like, let's talk about something else. Well, Nintendo Wii U, and then Felicia says, oh, too soon. And that was the toned down version of it. Originally, it was like the Nintendo Wii U, because in contrast to Xbox One's always on feature, Nintendo's introducing the always off feature because no one buys it. Yeah, something like that. The Rockstar joke though was basically.
I love hold on, to back up though, the punchline of that joke is you explaining the joke because no one buys it. Like very few jokes, the punchline is you explaining it.
The Rockstar one was Rockstar's in a new sort of multiplayer, multi-character storyline allows them to rip up 3 different crime movies in a single game, and they're like, you can't say that they're ripping off crime movies in their games. I'm like, really? Because
they do.
Because they do.
In their every single way. Yeah.
Anyway, but they were not happy with that, and then
So they had to cut it.
That's so lame. It's like they should be able to. I mean, you look at like the hosts of Golden Globes or Oscars.
It's not
they make
that
fun of
level.
everybody.
But they're not at that level.
Well, because we went to that was the interesting thing we went to the Producers Guild Awards.
Why was I not invited?
But they don't. I don't know. I feel like me and Freddie are always pretty interested in like the social like diplomacy of these sort of things.
Yes.
And the Producer Guilds aren't. I guess they're streamed, but
They're non-televised.
it's very different.
They're non-televised.
And like there's this not Johnny Depp, Robert Downey Jr. introduced like the head of Disney, Bob Iger, and that speech was like the most calculated. Like there was jabbing jokes at Disney, but you could tell that this is like billions of dollars and hundreds of millions of dollars on stage, and it's just incredibly bizarre how I don't know. You could tell. Like, but they were pretty edgy jokes, like way edgier than that. Like, directed towards Bob Iger and the other way around towards Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
Grow up video games. That's the point.
Yeah.
Take a joke. Take
Grow
a
up video games.
Yeah.
I think in general with the award show, because that was the two things that we got a lot of questions of, which was really weird. All the press and stuff that the pre-interviews was two questions over and over. One.
Where's Clutch in Video Game High School?
Always.
Right. Where's Clutch? It's like I just carry a little card that just answers that.
There's no more pop. Am I going to the Dice Awards?
Where's the spin-off?
The question I heard nonstop was, number one, hey, so what do you think about this awards show? It's like the Oscars. Do you think it's what do you think about this versus other awards show? I'm like, why do we care so much about reputation of the award show? And the second one's like, so you're scared of internet trolls and haters? And I was like, no, I don't understand
I've been
why.
a schlubby Asian guy on the internet
Yeah,
for
I've been
3 years
kinda-
making video game homages. I think I'm pretty used to.
I think I'm pretty used to
I'll be fine.
the ire of the internet. Anyway, it was strange. It
That was a
fun,
question that the press would ask you?
though. They're like, so what do you think about the trolls, huh? You guys gonna you confident? You're gonna you scared about the comments? I was like,
Why didn't you ask, are you?
it's just so strange. So
That is
strange.
strange.
How about you, Ethan? Do you see yourself as a potential master of ceremonies?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love doing it. I really do. I get a kick out of it. I've done the IWTV Awards before. They've had me as the voice of God last couple of years. This year they chose someone else. Not bitter. Not better. Not better.
Not better.
It was God.
It was God.
That was worse. That was worse.
But I look at people like Chris Hardwick,
Yes.
who in my mind is like just kind of the best host.
Yeah.
You put him in any award ceremony, and you're just like, oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
It's gonna be Chris Hardwick show. I love Tina Fey, Amy Poehler. Like that combo is brilliant. I think the Golden Globes is brilliant for putting them in charge and letting them just do their thing. I know that they go through an editing process as well, but watching those two girls be funny on stage it's like watching candy.
Yeah, it's great.
Because you laugh and their jokes are great digs. I would love to be at that level. I would love to be some sort of master of ceremonies that can be the Joel McHale, be the Chris Hardwick, really professional, but also kind of have that sense of humor and be able to
we had
throw
some
it-
good Joel
You're there,
McHale.
Ethan. You're
You're
there.
there.
Yeah,
And we had some good Joel McHale digs. They made us cut too. So well.
Yeah.
Was he there?
No.
Oh, why? Why would they? Why would
Here's the joke.
Dice Awards?
Here's the joke. Joe McHale was scheduled to be here, but he and his co-host, a box of Franzia, were unable to make it tonight.
I like the one you had. Well, you had a whole thing about celebrities.
Oh yeah, celebrities.
Yeah.
Mm,
And you had, anyways. But hosting is a tough gig.
It's a
You're
tough
good
gig.
at it. You're good at it,
Absolutely.
Ethan.
Thanks,
It's a
guys.
special skill set. Yeah.
Thanks.
and you are one of the funniest dudes we know. We gotta get you in more of our videos. In addition, of course, the clutch.
Outside of clutch.
Yeah.
I could give you better lines than there's no pop.
Look, I don't want to. I don't want to speak for Matt Dink over here, but the Clutch web series is coming. We're gonna make that Clutch web series happen. Matt and I have said it here first.
I would love to. That would be fucking awesome. I think like the 10 or 20 people that watch the videos.
You know what it needs to be? No, back to that. You know what it really needs to be? Sorry, we're wrapping up here, but you know what it really needs to be? It needs to be like a point-and-click adventure game where you play
Just
as
looking
Clutch.
for pop.
Where you play as Clutch.
Even though you've already got soda, but he's just still looking for
There's
it.
no dialogue. It's just like the back of me in an open room, and they can mouse click on any item, and I just walk
And then
over
you
to
go
it.
to things and you have like little quips and stuff like
In
old
Luigi's
LucasArts
Mansion, you
games.
could press a button, and Luigi would just go, "Where's Mario?" And it would just be you push the button, and
Oh,
movie
look,
goes,
a sink.
"Where's the pop? Where's the pop?"
I'd
Just
play
over and
that.
over again.
I'd play that.
I'd play that game.
Is it in the couch? No pop. Is it in the sink? No pop.
That game for 40 hours.
Downloadable title coming soon. Yes,
RocketJump.
indeed. We're
And
gonna,
the board game version available 2016.
Yes, indeed.
Or do you have anything going on that
Yeah,
you
what
need
do
to
you got?
plug besides?
Yeah, the last thing
Wonderful Movie?
I think I'll plug if people have made it this far.
No, harsh, bro.
Ginger Runner. So my main channel, I've taken a break from the main channel because I've been focusing a lot of energy on the Ginger Runner YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Ginger Runner, and at The Ginger Runner on Twitter, doing ultra marathons and running distances
Holy
longer than
crap.
26 miles and filming it.
How do you do that?
It takes a lot of training and patience and perseverance, but it's what I've been doing the last couple of years, and just have found this amazing niche that no one else is doing videos for, and like creating content. So I've been reviewing gear. So I've been reviewing running shoes and like running gear.
And wait, when you review something that you run 50 miles in nonstop,
You know.
you review it.
You
right?
review it, and I'm the only guy that's actually giving you real opinions. So I'll say what I hate about shoes. You know,
Nice.
there's some shoes I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. What are you thinking? But I also, the main thing I like to plug is that I do these race videos where I film myself while I'm running 50 miles and
Whoa.
then edit it together in like a nice polished, kind of fun 10-minute long piece.
Cool.
There's no one else doing it, and I'm really, really proud to kind of be one of them.
To bring the
Or to be the
experience
first.
of running 50
I'll be
miles.
honest, you are
Ginger.
one of my heroes.
Yeah, you're a
I don't
hero,
know how
man.
you can do
Why
that
did you wait
to
till
your
the
body.
end to tell me? Dink.
Just wanted to end on a high note.
On a
Ethan.
high uplifting note.
Thanks,
Seriously,
Des.
that's a huge inspiration.
Yeah.
That's incredible what you do.
What's funny is it's the same for you guys too. Like I look up to RocketJump and the whole crew here. You guys do some
Oh,
amazing shit.
stop.
I'm,
Yeah,
not, I'm not just
yeah,
sucking
okay.
all of your wangs.
We will though. Once
But
it's
you
through.
can.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay,
could.
Anyway.
So yeah, go check that stuff out.
Awesome.
Check the Ginger Runner on YouTube, on Twitter.
You got your
Welcome
own-
to the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Coming
Welcome
out.
to the Jungle in theaters.
Indeed.
Select
VOD
theaters this week. And
theaters.
VOD.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got your own personal Twitter?
At Ethan Newberry.
There you go.
Yeah.
Check out Ethan, everybody. That's all we got for this week. So thanks to, of course, Ethan for showing
No,
up.
thank you for having me.
Oh,
Thanks
yeah,
for the beer,
absolutely,
too.
man.
Co-host Matt Arnold.
Thank you.
Des Dolly, our Googler in the corner. We gotta figure out a title for you, Benji, Dolly.
He has one. It's producer.
Producer.
That's
no,
why
I
we
know.
hired him.
That's true. Producer and Googler in the corner.
Google Hole enthusiast.
And of course, recording, engineering, and mixing by Alex Reeves of Point and Blue. Thanks, everybody. We will see you next time.